trigonometric identity or Pythagorean identity. So we know, and we're using, it's basically the same concept as we learned in the junior classes, where we know that c squared equals to a squared plus b squared. And knowing that the unit circle, the radius is 1, and if you say that, so if we have x, which is the cosine squared sine squared, equals to 1, we could use that to solve a lot of equations. So let's get an example on that. Alright, so we know that we could use the trigonometric identity to find out what the value of x should be, or the cosine of x. So we just substitute, and we also need to know that that's actually a restricted domain. So that means and cos squared is the same as saying the whole thing is squared. Minus 1, that's 16 over 25. So my cos should be, or cos x I should say, rather than theta. Square root 9 over 25, so that's going to be plus or minus (3 over 5). Since it's restricted, so that means it's in the second quadrant, so that's half, that's pi, so that's going to be, so therefore cos x is negative square root 3, negative 3 over 5. Let's check another example. So tan x, we want to find out what x is, so we know that, so cosine was, our cosine value was negative square root 3 on 5, and our sine is, I think that was 4 over 5. So tan is sine over cosine, so that means 4 over 5 divided by and that is for the tangent. One more example. Show that 1 plus tan squared x equals to 1 over cosine squared x. Well, show that equations are actually very common in an exam. So we know that tan is cosine over sin, so that means cosine, sine over cosine, I should say. So sine squared over cosine. So that's 1. So I want to show that the left hand side should equal to the right hand side. So that's going to be cosine squared x over cosine squared x. So that and we have got, they're both the same denominators, so all we have to say is, because they're the same denominator, so this is what we end up with. They're two fractions, and both the denominators are the same, so all you have to do is add the numerators. And we also know that on my based on the trig identity, equals to 1, so everything on my numerator equals to 1, and that is as required. So we were required to show the left hand side, which is this one here, equals to the right hand side, and we have actually proven that is the case. And that's it. And in our next recording, or in the next lesson, we look at the graphs of tangent functions, tangent and cosine sine functions.